اهلا بكم معايا. انا أمام محمد. النهارده انا في البرلمان في هاوس اوف لورد، فتعالوا هوريكم معايا جوله البرلمان من جوه شكله ايه. انا كده عديت من على السكيورتي ودخلت القاعه الاولانيه، ودلوقتي في الهول تماثيل لكل الناس المهمه في تاريخ بريطانيا. هبدا من هنا. الراجل ده معرفوش، والراجل برضو ده معرفوش. كل صف فيه تمثال، حقيقي شيء جميل جدا. طبعا في سكيورتي هنا ليفل عالي بطريقه الوحش يعني. وده الصف التاني. الايفنت ده برعايه بارونس. البارونس ڤيرما، ناشطه اجتماعيه وناشطه اجتماعيه في حقوق المراه. دلوقتي انا في القاعه التاني، قاعه جوه، والايفنت هيبدا بعد دقايق. انا كده في برايفت روم زي ما قلت لكم جوه البرلمان. بحاول صوتي ما يبقاش عالي قوي. دلوقتي انا عايزه اقول لكم على حاجه، ان انا جيت البرلمان من غير ما اسرح شعري. في المنظر عامل ازاي؟ انا مش عارفه ابص من الجنب، بس انا ما لحقتش يعني. اصل ساعه مواصلات وساعه سكيورتي وكده، فقلت يا بنتي يا امان ما تعمليش شعرك ستريت وكده، خلقة ربنا وروحي دايما انتي كده. المصري جبار. والله العظيم بجد المصري معروف بجباره.
And for me, it is an honour and a privilege to serve my country. On a wider note, I am a former minister, and one of my roles was under David Cameron as the global champion for tackling violence against women across the world. She still is. I'm to do it in my own capacity now, because the one thing you understand is that whether you're in a role or not, the voice for women must never become silent. And I say this every time, if we all come together and do a little bit each, you know what they say, a spoon of water in a pail or a bucket, if we all are doing it, it soon becomes full. And that's what we've got to do.
Good evening. As we gather here today under the banner of UK Parliament and UPF and the United Nations, I would like to thank first our host, Baroness ڤيرما. Thanks Robin, Margaret, Keith, Lorna, and all the UPF team. I would like to empower all to enforce the idea of peace, the right for women and children to live in respect and religious harmony. Enough injustice against humanity. No one can bear it. Man was created to live with dignity, and religion to implement the laws. I ask every woman not to be shy, to ask for help and confidence. And it has come as such a relief to me to realize that being different and imperfect is far more interesting than being a perfect person.
It does take a village, it really does, to make this change. This is not a woman's problem, it is a human rights problem. But what about a country like the UK? What do we do in the UK? I like to use the example, I'm going to show my age here. And when I was a child, it was okay for my dad to go to the pub, drink a few pints, bundle me into the car with no seatbelts on and drive home. Okay. Now, I haven't got my glasses on, so I can't see all your faces that clearly, but I'm hoping there's a lot of shock in the room. Because that would be shocking today, wouldn't it? So you'd think about not wearing your seatbelt, and you certainly wouldn't drink drive, no matter whether you've got children or not. If you do drink, that is obvious. And you know what happened? There was years and years of government-funded advertising that changed the behaviours. We were told what would happen if our behaviours didn't change. We were shown the horrific examples of when a child was hit by a car or a person didn't wear a seatbelt in their car. So these sort of social norms, I can do what I want, I don't have to wear a seatbelt, I can go drinking, and all this, that's just changed. And you see one or two cases that have not followed those rules, and we're quite horrified by it. So at a government level, that's what we need to see. And we are completely non-partisan, UN Women, so whoever's in government social change work of the British public.
And I was surprised to learn that most men who are in prison for murder actually are women. They're not criminals, they're actually domestic murderers, which is it came as a shock to me.
And I think that all of us must stand and say that we are really interested and committed and absolutely passionate about working to eradicate the hatred that is sowing amongst really good friends. Even in this case, there are divisions, and I think that it's really dangerous when so much of our world is on fire. So the violence against women physically at home, yes, but violence against women and girls online is beyond anybody's imagination.
Just to say that the lasting impact of violence is not only causing them anxiety, but also it causes them depression, and it causes them traumas which impact their whole life. And it's really hard to treat those traumas.
A 16-year-old girl who, after confrontation with a hijab enforcer in Tehran's metro train, was seen on video being dragged unconscious out of the train and was subsequently taken to a military hospital where she has been lying in a state of coma since. In her statement, quoted in the Wall Street Journal, Nadia said, and I quote, "The government's behaviour indicates an attempt to prevent the truth about Amita from coming out." The violence against Amita Jaraland seemed like a horrific reenactment of yet another confrontation over the hijab with the morality police last year that led to the death of yet one more young woman, Mahsa Amini, and has resulted in a public outcry and revulsion. Bystanders say a hijab policewoman confronted Amita after boarding the metro because she was not covering her hair. After the following argument, Amita was pushed to the floor and hit her head. She was bleeding when she was removed from the metro. The official version, as usual, avoids any responsibility. The government claims Amita fell due to a fall in blood pressure. The Declaration of the Elimination of Violence Against Women, issued by the UN General Assembly in 1993, defines violence against women as a, quote, "any act of gender-based violence that results in or is likely to result in physical, sexual or psychological harm or suffering to women, including threats of such acts, coercion or arbitrary deprivation of liberty, whether incurring in public or in private life."
I have the honour of taking care of my mum, who's 95, and her basic, I think, thought was fairness. And I think it's rooted in all our religious beliefs, this idea of, so treat people the way that you would like to be treated.
ده شكل قاعة البرلمان. السقف عالي قوي بقى very beautiful. هو المبنى جميل بصراحة. دي بوابة البرلمان اللي ورايا دي، فأي حد داخل البرلمان بيجي منها. فدي القاعة اللي هي الأساسية يعني. أنا كده طالعة من البرلمان وبرلمان ورايا اهو. مش عارفة شايفين بيج بن؟ أشهر حاجة في البرلمان. ده المنظر، نهر التايمز بالليل، حلو قوي قوي، بيفكرني بالكورنيش بتاعنا في مصر. الإشارة حمراء والناس بتعدي، والراجل متضايق عشان الناس بتعدي. طب أعدي؟